Hey everybody, this is Ghost Moments and you're watching episode 7 of my solo Skyblock series. Last time we created these little platforms that surround our base. Off camera I went ahead and planted the saplings for each tree and I think they're looking pretty nice. So as you can see over here we've got our acacia tree. Initially, here I had our jungle tree, but to be honest, I rarely use jungle wood and I use a lot of spruce. So I decided to plant our large spruce tree here for harvesting. I have a ton of oak trees in our farm over there, so I decided to create a large oak on this platform, a small sized jungle tree over here, and then of course our dark oak and our birch. Now I did go ahead and replant our jungle tree back on our original island way out in the distance there, as well as our dark oak, our oak, and I think I had done the acacia in a previous episode. Another thing that I did is I dug myself a little pond on the jungle island so I can do some fishing. I have read in numerous places that I can fish some very special things out of a jungle biome, so I haven't done it yet. But I left the bridge intact there so that I can do some of that fishing at a later time. So my original plan for this new platform here was to make it into farmland. I need to start planting my crops, harvesting them, and then trading those crops with villagers. But after I started to measure things out, I realized this space just isn't going to be big enough for the amount of crops that I want to yield. So I think what I'm going to do in this section is turn it into sort of an open barn concept, if you will. I'm going to make little gated pens with grass inside so that we can have the sheep, cows, chickens, and pigs live up here for breeding and making food, etc. My new idea for where we're going to put our farmland came to me when I was underneath our base. If you saw in a previous episode, I was using this little tower here to bridge out to the outer islands. But when I was down here, I thought, you know what? This is a beautifully large area that we can turn into farmland. I know, you guys aren't seeing it, but here's what I'm thinking. We'll pillar down just a few more layers, create another large circular platform underneath our base platform, break that circular platform up into like pie pieces, and each one of those pie pieces will be a different part of our farmland. Now we're going to need a lot of dirt to do that, but luckily I've been getting a ton of gravel from our new mob farm that we can turn into dirt, and I'm going to have to do something about this ceiling area. As you can see, it's not very pretty, it's leaking water, and it's leaking lava over there, so we'll have to cover that up as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and kick off our first time lapse. And the only thing that I'm a little worried about are these Endermen down there because I'm going to have to look down and I'm a little nervous that I'll make eye contact with one of them and they'll kick me off the platform. But we'll see what happens. Let's go ahead and get this time lapse started right now. Alright, welcome back everybody. That was an excellent time lapse and we got so much done. Look at all this farmland, ready for planting crops. Okay, I think we will choose this area here for our wheat. So let's go ahead and start planting and hope that there's enough light and enough water to make this work. Okay, now that we've got all of that land tilled up, let's plant our seeds. Okay, now if we... Hello, Enderman. These guys certainly were annoying during this building process, and I'm not really sure what's attracting them to this general area. I mean, I guess it's kind of dark over here, and there's blocks for them to stand on, but I wish there was a way that I could get rid of them. Anyway, so we've planted a whole section of wheat seeds here, and I could bone meal them, but I kind of want to see how fast they grow. So we're going to check back here in a little bit and see how they did. Now I don't have enough pumpkin and melon seeds to really fill up this whole area yet, but we got to start somewhere. So first thing we'll do is melons. We'll go 1, 2 there. And then we will alternate pumpkins on this side, like that. And then we go melons, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's going to be all of our melon seeds. So we will do pumpkins here, and we're out of seeds. Okay, so that'll be enough to get started, and unfortunately I don't think that I can bone meal these. Oh, I can. That's why I need the bone meal. Okay, now we just need these things to grow. Okay, we have planted the entire field of carrots, entire field of wheat. We've got a little over a quarter of the way through the pumpkins and melons. So next up will be potatoes. Now, some of you were probably wondering what my plan here was with the waterlogged stairs. I wanted to come up with a way to irrigate all this land, and I'm sure there was a more efficient way to do it than the way I chose, but I also wanted sort of an aesthetically pleasing design. So this is what I went with. So our farm's looking pretty good already. We are in the middle of planting the rest of our potatoes. It occurs to me that I don't think we actually have any beetroots. I'm not sure where to get those. I might have to look that up because I don't think we found any on our islands, and none of the mobs that I've encountered so far are dropping them. So I might have to do a quick Google search on that to figure out how we get beetroots. Okay, that is a complete field of potatoes. This Enderman stole our melon. Hey, what are you doing there? And I don't think I'd be able to get it back without dying. I have an iron sword, but I don't have very good armor, and I'm pretty sure he would take me. So I don't know if this is going to be a consistent problem, but it's also kind of adorable that he took it. Let's get a screenshot with this guy. All right. Hey, buddy. Got it. Okay, so we've got our carrot section, our wheat section, our melon and pumpkins. Ah, this Enderman is stealing more pumpkins. That's great. Plenty to go around. And our potato section here. We're reserving this area here for beetroot. Then we've got our little random area here that's netherwort. This is reserved for cactus and our cocoa beans. Once we get enough sugarcane, we'll build out a sugarcane section here. And then I think what I'm going to do in this last section is actually build a stairway that goes up to our base. I might do that either off camera or in another episode. But for now, what I'd like to do is actually go back up to our new platform we had originally reserved for Farmland and actually get that prepped to build the new home for our livestock. So let's get up there and do that. And here we are. So before the end of this episode, what I want to do is build out this platform and make it a open barn concept for our animals. We will build it into, I think, 4 sections, one for sheep, one for pigs, one for cows, and one for chickens. And unfortunately, it's going to be regular dirt for the time being. We're probably going to have to go all the way out to our jungle island and get some grass to stretch out in this direction. But We can do that in another episode or off camera. For now, let's jump into a quick time lapse and get this build finished. Welcome back, everybody. That was mildly entertaining. We got our pens built here and ready for our animals. Unfortunately, it takes quite a bit of effort to get these animals up here, so I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of that off camera. I think I even have some leads, so that might make things a little easier. But we've run out of time for today's episode, so I want to say a big thank you to all those who've subscribed recently, left me comments, and even sent me a few messages. I really appreciate it. But if you're new and this is the first episode you've watched, I highly recommend you go back and watch all the rest. Thanks so much for all your support. Leave me a like or a comment, and I will see you next time. Thanks.